back to our advanced trumpet class. My name's Antonia. I'm one of the teachers here with the orchestra place. I teach at Westside Neighborhood School and Academy for the Enriched Sciences. I am a trumpet player. That is my main instrument. So I love doing these advanced trumpet classes. This week we're going to focus on something really important for trumpet that every trumpet player wants to know about. There's one guy, there's this really great trumpet player. His name is James Morrison. He is an Australian trumpet player and trombone player, and he has a great online YouTube series of different like trumpet basics. And video number 4 is titled Range. And he makes a joke at the beginning of the 4th video, and he said, "You guys all probably skipped all the other videos, and this was the first one you came to, wasn't it?" And I, like many others, laughed because yes, that was the first video I clicked on. I didn't bother watching 1 through 3. I went straight to the video about range. I know it's something that a lot of trumpet players want to work on, and so I thought that we would do a little bit of a lesson in range today. So, range starts with just like proper warm-up technique, as does a lot of stuff in music and whatever. I know we talked last week, your warm-up is like your breakfast. You want to warm up the way that you're going to play for the rest of the day. And that is what I always try to do. So I have a pretty specific warm-up routine. So first things first, let's warm up just by playing some of these longer notes. Okay. I thought we would play Southern Roses. It's really nice and lyrical and has a lot of long tones in it. So if you want, you guys can use this as your first step in your warm-up this week. Let's try it. So let's get our trumpets out. The C. And when we're playing this, so I want you to pretend like you have a paper airplane in your hand. And you want that paper airplane to go, maybe you have a wall in front of you or something. You want it to go all the way through that wall and outside of your house, okay? And in order to do that, we need to have enough air to carry that paper airplane all the way out there. So I'm going to throw the paper airplane and blow my air to keep that paper airplane all the way on its course and go all the way through that wall. Okay, so try it with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm blowing my air all the way through that wall. And with trumpet, it's the same thing. A lot of times, trumpet players will only blow air till it goes like right here in their horn. And that doesn't give us a very good sound. So we want to blow the air all the way through our horn, out the wall. Let's play Southern Roses with that in mind. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Alright, next step in the warm-up. Now that I've played some long tones. Step number 2, I want to do some tonguing exercises. So because we talked about 6/8 time last week, I thought we would do this with the 6/8 time scale. Okay. So remember, in 6/8 we count it 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and okay. So there are 3 different variations of rhythms here, or 4. So the first measure is 1 and a 2 and a. Second measure is 1 and 2 and then just 1 and a 2 and a. Okay. Let's try this. C scale. 1, 2, 1 and 2. Okay. So hopefully that one, well, I know the rhythms and that one can be kind of tricky if you aren't familiar with them. So maybe take a look on that one more on your own time. And then the last part of the warm-up, before we get into the range stuff, but this stuff is directly related to range, are these lip slurs. So in your book, you will find these on page 55. This one's from the blue book, page 37. For some reason, I don't have a PDF of the one on 55, but I'm going to try to get that for next week. So let's start with the first one. So we're going to be expanding our range downward first. And this is all has to do with tongue height, okay? It says, E, 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 E. Okay, let's try to make this really, really clear transitions between these. All right, breath mark in between each one. All right, lip builders. 1, 2, 3, and. Nice. Hopefully that wasn't too hard. So we need a lot of air for that low one. 1, 2, and 3. Next, let's do the super slurs. So this is the same thing. All of this, a lot of kids, I remember when I was younger, I thought that slurs were so hard. And when I was 18, I went and I still thought slurs were hard when I was 18. I was playing in a bunch of big bands in the LA area at that time. And I got a trumpet lesson with a guy named Wayne Bergeron. And if you guys don't know who that is, he is like one of the best studio trumpet players in Los Angeles. He has played on everything, like Incredibles, all those like high trumpet shakes. That's Wayne. And I got a lesson with him when I was 18, and we were doing some of these slurs. He said, "Why do you think those are so hard?" He's like, "I can hear it in your playing. You think that they're hard. You think they aren't easy. But all it is you're just moving your tongue. You're trying to like push all this air through, and you're straining yourself so much. But slurs are not hard. All you're doing is going like this with your tongue in your mouth. Really easy. Especially in these lower octaves, and even when you get up into the higher octaves." And he said, "So just don't think about it and play it." And I was like, "Okay, you're crazy. This is hard. This has been hard my whole life, but all right, I'm just not going to think about it. I'll just let the air do whatever and play it." And I don't know why, it all came out. And ever since then, I've never had trouble with slurs. I was just trying to push way too much air through to get all those notes out. But it's not really a matter of you don't have to fight against your horn or muscle against it. Your horn will do the work. You just have to position your mouth in the right way, okay? So see if you can focus this time. Don't focus on forcing all the air out to get that sound. focus on your tongue height while you're doing it, okay? See if you can change that going between ah and e. Let's try it. For the super slurs. 1, 2, 3, and. Oh, whoops, sorry, I was starting too low. Alright, there we go. 1, 2, 3, and. Slur with this that you will find in your book on page 55. Let me make sure that I'm doing this right really quick, just so you guys have it at home. So the one on page 55, it's just going between our upper partials. So it's going from CEC. Okay, and so with these upper notes, this is also a lot dealing with range. You want to have like a little cushion right here, okay? So when you're flexing your cheeks, this looks kind of funny, but you're flexing this part, and this part you're kind of like pushing forward like a fish, okay? Because you want a lot of padding right here. You don't want to spread your cheeks out like this. Because when you spread them out that way to flex your cheeks, spreading them out wide, it's like pulling like a string really, really tight, or a rubber band really, really tight. If you flick it, it's not going to be able to vibrate the tighter that you pull it this way, you know? So you're cutting off the frequencies. And we all know as trumpet players, we talk about mouthpiece buzzing a lot. We've got to have that buzzing in order to produce the sound. So sometimes when you get up to those higher notes, you're pulling your cheeks out this way, and it's causing you to cut off the sound because there's no way that you can buzz at some point when you just keep pulling your lips that way. So you need to keep your cheeks in place, and this is where your cheeks are going to get sore. It's going to take a while. It's going to take endurance. But the more you do it, the better you're going to be at it because you're building muscle every day. It's a little baby step every day. Keep your cheeks in place and forward. Think about your cheeks are staying forward in place when we're playing these higher notes, okay? And the only thing that's changing, you have to use your strength and hold your cheeks in that normal position. And the only thing that's going to be changing is your tongue height in your mouth. But you got to hold those cheeks there and keep those in place, okay? Alright, let's try these super slurs. Oh, sorry, not the super slurs. If you have your book in front of you, it's the 3-note slurs, okay? Okay? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Comprehensive warm-up that we just did. So I would suggest when you're practicing that week, use the warm-up that we use in our videos as your practice for each week. So for this week, we're starting with Southern Roses as our long tones. Then we did the 6/8 scale for our tonguing warm-up. And then working on range, we did this whole page of lip builders. Keeping in mind our tongue height and keeping our cheeks really in place and building that muscle up. So then, to further this, the etude that I wanted to work on this week is the Bluebells of Scotland. This is actually one that I became familiar with from a book called The Arbins. Do I have my copy here? Let's see. I'm not sure where I put my copy. I'll try to find it to show you guys next week. I have one on my computer now, so I just use that mostly. But exercises and different lyrical studies. So eventually, if you guys become really serious trumpet players, definitely you're going to get a copy of the Arbins at some point, because everyone's got to use it. It's really cool. At the beginning of the book, they have a table of contents, and you can look through it, and anything that you want to work on is going to be in that table of contents. So maybe you want to work on 6/8 time feels. Maybe you want to work on double tonguing. You want to work on range. You want to work on trills. You just go in that table of contents, find it, flip to the page, and you have like 4 or 5 pages of exercises or more depending on what you're choosing. So in the back of that book, they have a lot of lyrical studies that you can work on. And one of them is this Bluebells of Scotland, which I really, really like for range playing because it's kind of arcing all the way through. So we're going from an A flat to an E flat. Look at the key signature. Okay. It's the same. So you can play those. There's a lot of different alternate fingerings. Maybe we'll do those in another lesson too. It's kind of a cool trick for improvising using alternate fingerings. So we gotta jump from that A flat and try to make that clean. Alright, let's try that. Just try doing those a few times. Good. It's a good exercise. Starting on a B flat. Actually, let me move the book right here. Okay. Yeah. Alright, let's start with this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Cool. So that one, I would love for you guys to work on that etude this week. It's such a beautiful song and really great for developing that range up there. So for this week, what I want you guys to practice is, again, our warm-up. We've got Southern Roses that is our warm-up. Then the 6/8 time scale. Okay. Then lip builders, that's our warm-up. And then to practice this Bluebells of Scotland, get this really lyrical. Remember, we're blowing air all the way through our horn, past the wall to get that great tone, keeping our cheeks firmly in place so that we develop that muscle, working in our tongue height for all those high notes. And please, please, please send me a video of you playing this. Record yourself playing Bluebells of Scotland so that I can see any issues you may be having with range or whatever you're doing good, and so I can comment on that, give you some personalized feedback, like a one-on-one lesson. And that's going to be to homework@theorchestraplace.com. Alright, so video of Bluebells of Scotland. If you want to include some of your lip slurs too, if you're having trouble with those, I can help you with those. But otherwise, I will see you guys next week on next Wednesday for the next advanced trumpet class. Thank you guys for joining us today. See ya.